It's day 3 on the floor of PDAC, and today we have Kevin Ernst from BN Strategic Metals. Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Tracy, it's so nice to be here. Thank you so much.
And Kevin,
yes.
BN Strategic Metals.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I think it's a very unique story that I haven't really heard out there. I mean, right now, we're in California. We're in a mining district that began probably 1895. So we have all kinds of mining shafts. We have a very large open pit that Glamis Gold basically created. They took out about 1.5 million ounces of gold. In 2000, they left because gold, believe it or not, was only at $200. So fast forward to today, we now control 6,000 acres. We probably have one of the largest tungsten deposits, which, as you know, is a critical metal. China controls or produces about 85% of the tungsten in the world right now, and there's currently no producers in the US. What's fascinating is we are now working with the government to get expedited permits, also potential financing as well as an offtake, and we can literally be in production in the next 14 months, believe it or not. So on the other side of the company is we have a very large gold and silver deposit. We just came out with a updated 43-101. We have about 1.4 million ounces of gold and 7 million ounces of silver. And Tracy, we've just begun. We think this could be a $7 to $10 million ounce project. And we're super excited. We want to go public as soon as possible. We've been talking to bankers. There's a lot of interest. And it's a US project. And we think that investors will get behind this and be very excited about this project. Between the critical minerals with tungsten and the gold and silver asset being in California, we think it's going to be very well received by investors. We've raised about 34 million to date right now. And that's about it. I mean, happy to answer any questions.
All right, so let's just start at the top.
Yeah.
Gold. Tell us a little bit more about the gold project. Just the gold, because you hit us with gold, silver, and tungsten, and we're excited about all of the above.
Well, you know, look, when we acquired this project, historically we had about 360 ounces of gold, and I think we had about 400 ounces of silver. And, you know, like I mentioned, to date, we've raised $34 million. We have $8 million in the bank right now on our balance sheet. And we just came out with a 43-101 about 4 weeks ago, and we now have close to 1.4 million ounces of gold and 7 million ounces of silver. So we're pretty excited about that on the gold and silver side.
So of course everybody's talking about gold right now. Gold is on fire, but so is tungsten, the critical mineral sector. You must have a lot of government knocking on your door, do you, for tungsten?
We do. Yes, we certainly do. We are, as I mentioned, working with the government. There's a lot of interest from the government. It's a strategic metal. As I mentioned, China controls or produces about 84% of the world's tungsten. There are no producing tungsten companies in the US, and we will be the first producing tungsten company in the US, and our path to production is 14 to 16 months. It could be sooner, but that's a conservative estimate. So we will be cash flowing in 14 to 16 months.
So there's going to be a lot of people out there, Kevin, that are going, wow, where did this tungsten company come from? What is your timeline next? How fast to, for instance, public listing are you looking at?
Well, that's a very good question. We have looked at a lot of different scenarios. Obviously, we're taking into account this market that we're in, which is on fire. And we are now looking at going public as soon as we can. We are thinking of around raising about $100 million. And we think that that's going to be enough to really move the project forward and to greatly advance the gold and silver project and at the same time get the tungsten project cash flowing.
So what about PDAC? How has PDAC been for you? Are you achieving your goals?
Well, as you know, I've been coming here for many years, and it's kind of what you make it. We know we've been very strategic in terms of one-on-one meetings that we've had, and it's been very productive for us. We've met with a lot of very well-heeled investors. We've met with some other companies where there could be some synergies. We are looking at a pretty major acquisition right now of another tungsten asset in the US that would more than double what we have. And we've been talking to a number of investment banks, and we've gotten a tremendous amount of feedback, honestly, from the banks in terms of what we have.
I consistently recommend to InvestorNews audience members to check out who's actually running the companies you're looking at and investing. Kevin, you have an incredible professional career involved in the capital markets. Can I ask you, what was a catalyst for you joining this team?
Well, look, I think when you've been on Wall Street for as long as I've been on Wall Street, it's almost, I hate to say it, it's almost 35 years. You know, it's always about the people, Tracy. You know, it's like, at this stage, I just want to work with people that I want to work with that are high integrity, that share the same vision, and you know, we can work together as a team and just build from there. It's all about the ecosystem for me.
Well, you heard it here first. We've got tungsten on one hand, gold on the other, and silver. For those of you interested in finding out more, please go to the following website, and that's Kevin Ernst from BN Strategic Metals. Thank you, Kevin.